Hi guys, Peter Finch here down at Quest Golf Academy. I'm going to be looking at the next part in my Power Series video of how you can hit the ball the furthest you ever have. Now I've already covered 5 videos within this process, taking you from the setup to the takeaway, to the hinge, to the backswing rotations and the transition into the downswing. And now we're going to be talking about that final delivery into impact, that final punch of power which is going to allow you to send the ball out there as far as you can. Now this is all going to cover about how the club should be moving into the ball, about angle of attack and about path as well. It's also going to cover the rotations and how you should be using your arms and extending through the shot. This is all about delivery. This is all about adding that final burst into the ball and making sure all the hard work that you've done so far doesn't go to waste. Now first of all, if you haven't seen the previous video, especially on the transition and how you move down into impact, then please check that out, because that was all talking about how to move the hips left, how to get the hands and the arms moving down towards the body and starting to deliver the club a little bit more on an inside path. Now swinging from the inside with a driver, swinging from the inside with any club is not the be all and end all of golf. It really doesn't require you to hit that type of path to play amazing golf. If you think about the amazing golfers who've gone before you, then you will realise that hitting a fade, and even in Bubba Watson's case, hitting a massive slice, doesn't always have to be a bad thing, and it doesn't always have to mean that you hit the ball a short distance. However, generally speaking, for most golfers, you will see people who get on an inside path and who manage to hit up on the ball with their driver will generally achieve further distances. Now there are lots of different things that we can talk about with this, but I'm going to focus about how path and how angle of attack work together. So generally speaking, if you can get the club moving more on an inside path, it is easier to then move the club up through the point of impact. Now that's important with a driver, because what you want to be doing to achieve those big distances is to be getting a high launch off your tee shots whilst keeping the spin low. Now because the driver loft is very low, it's hard to get it up in the air. And that is a reason why many people who are searching for distance do turn into slicers. They come over the top, open up the club face and carve it up into the air. Now to get that club moving from the inside and then to get it moving upwards, you can deliver the loft that is on the driver in a much more consistent way. And because it's moving upwards through the point of impact, and because the club face is nice and stable, if you can get a good strike on the ball, the spin will be lower. And then you have that magical combination of getting a high launch with low spin. Getting the club moving from a nice inside position also has a benefit of being able to get draw bias on the spin tilt axis. Now, as you know from watching Bubba and from watching many other golfers, hitting a fade also can give you good distance. But generally speaking, most golfers feel that a draw shot is more powerful. Now, scientifically speaking, if you're looking at it from just a numbers point of view, the ball doesn't know what axis that it's spinning on, whether it's spinning left or it's spinning off to the right. It doesn't care. However, like I said, if you're moving from the inside, if you're hitting up on the ball, generally that will allow you to deliver the power a little bit more effectively with the most consistent results. So we've got the feeling on that transition about being able to move down into the ball. And the feeling that you can have, and you can set up a little diagram like this on the ground if you want, of just 2 alignment sticks. The white alignment stick represents my target line, and the orange one represents the path that I want the club to be moving on. And you can simply get set up and practice taking it away, using the tips that we've already spoken about, and then getting that club moving along the orange line through the ball. The important part of this is that you get the transition, you get the drop, and then you get the club moving along the orange line and also moving upwards through the point of impact. This little drill here that you can use without hitting a shot is important, and it is key, and it will allow you to get the feelings. I know it looks simple, and it is, but really getting that transition and then getting the club moving in the manner that you want a very simple representation like this can go a long, long way. Another great drill that you can use, and this is also a great anti-slice drill. I've already actually done a separate video on this, but just to give you a little bit more of a demonstration of what this should look like when you try and use it. If you get yourself set up and you have this nice big swing that we've already spoken about, you've got that transition. If you can move through the ball and you can try and get your driver glancing off the mat, it's always best to do this on a mat really. You can get the driver glancing off the mat just before the ball and slightly inside the target line. You can get the feeling of what it's like to bottom out the club before the ball, hit up and from the inside. It is a very, very, very simple drill. And I will include the link to the full video here because it will help you get that sensation. So we know about path, we know why it's important and how that relates to angle of attack, which will, by the way, move more down more easily the more you swing off to the left-hand side, and I've done lots of videos on that as well. But what about the power? What about that final punch? What about that final delivery that you want to be seeing into the ball? Now this part of the swing is all about continuing to rotate the body and then extend the arms through as you hit. It's the final punch of power. It's that final delivery into the ball that you want to be seeing. And to do this, as you've transitioned down, you've got that club moving from the inside. It's all about rotating the body as much as you can, as hard as you can, whilst coming through the ball and extending the arms down towards the target. This extension of the arms is very important, and I'm not talking about the release or anything like that. I'm simply talking about getting the arms extended towards the target. If you think about it during the backswing and the videos that we've done about the wrist hinge and the turn, we've added levers in, we've driven the weight left. And these levers here are starting to unwind, and if we can come through impact and extend outwards, that final punch of power, that energy which you've been building up throughout the swing will get into the back of that ball, and it is what we want to be seeing. It is what we're going to be doing. So the final thing, we've got the path, we've been using the drills, the weight moves left, and then those arms extend fully through the ball, continuing to turn with the lower body. Now the extension of the arms is oddly one thing which many people struggle with. The body turns are tough to do, but so is that extension. But if you can get these things together, then we are going to be hitting that ball further than you have done before. The one thing I haven't covered within this video series, which I could have added in, but really I don't think I need to, is what you want to be seeing with your finish position. Because as you come through, if you turn the body, if you've extended the arms, you should be moving through to a position where the hips have rotated fully, as has the body with that club pointing that a little bit more down towards the target. I've done videos on this before, and the reason I'm skipping it here is because really, if you followed the instructional series, you should be getting up to these positions anyway. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well. And in the very first video, I asked you to find out those standard candles on the course, to try and find a drive that you need to beat on the course. Hopefully these videos have helped. Hopefully you'll go out and smash your target. That was the goal of these videos all along. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you down here next time.